Why are mentors so important to a child or teenager's life?
Teenagers are exposed to a whole new world than what I was exposed to. I think there's pressures all around, and life requires us to go at a certain speed, and it keeps getting faster and faster and faster. And if we don't take the time to slow that down and really think about and reflect on our day and those different types of things.
A role model is defined as a person looked to by others as an example to be imitated. For most people, they can point out a specific individual that they view as their role model and someone they know they can lean on and try to be like. For me, it is my dad. For you, it could be a brother or a sister or an uncle or an aunt. But some teenagers within America and our community do not have someone they view as a role model. They rely on their own understandings, or misunderstandings in some cases, which often lead to poor decisions and bad behavior. These types of behaviors are labeled as at risk. These teenagers then turn to alcohol and drugs and possibly even crime as a sort of escape route. By partaking in these actions, they set themselves up for troublesome situations and possibly a life of crime. How can our community step up and try to make a difference in these teenagers' lives? Simply by being a role model for them and giving them a person to lean on and look toward when the going gets tough. By giving these teenagers a truly positive role model, their lives can change dramatically. It will have a full 180 effect as they turn away from a trouble-filled life that awaits them to a life filled with opportunity and promise. Teenagers, especially those in high school, are dropping out of high school at an unbelievable rate. Every year, over 1.2 million students drop out of high school. This equates to one student every 26 seconds. On top of that, 1/4 of high school freshmen fail to graduate on time. Now, why is this? How can this happen when a student is presented with all the resources necessary to be successful? Who knows? Possibly lack of effort or motivation. Maybe other factors play a role into it. Dropout rates are not nearly as high as they used to be, but they can still continue to drop. Any one student that drops out is one too many. So how can our community begin to reach out to high schoolers on the fence about dropping out? One thing is a positive role model that can steer a student heading down that path of dropping out onto the right path and help them to be successful while in high school, and who knows, possibly go to college and get a degree. Having a positive role model can truly change the trajectory of your life. A common misconception is that a role model has to be an adult, particularly one that makes good money and is considered to be a successful individual. Well, that is simply not the case. Yes, those type of people are role models, don't get me wrong, but a role model isn't limited to that criteria. A role model can be anyone. It could be a mom, a dad, a sibling, a teacher, a youth pastor, a coworker, or even just a friend. An organization that shares this philosophy right here in our community is a program called Mentor Kids. It pairs up an adult mentor with a student in the community based on tests that each person takes. They pair them up based on compatibility and who they feel is a good fit. The mentors in this program, though, are everyday people ranging from teacher to a fast food worker to a pastor. This proves the point that anyone can be a mentor for students. Countless organizations across America serve as outreach programs for troubled teens. A few that come to mind are Big Brother, Big Sister, Boys to Men, and as mentioned earlier, Mentor Kids. One that does a particularly excellent job of truly mentoring to troubled teens is a program in Brooklyn called 1-to-1.
In this sea of activity at Northview Junior High, you'd think a quiet student like 14-year-old Romaine would get overlooked, but he's done his share of standing out.
I was bad in 7th grade, but I improved.
Last year, school leaders thought he would benefit from a mentor to keep his behavior and grades in check.
You have a job. Where's your money at?
I quit.
Why'd you quit?
Good. It made me mad.
When'd you quit?
At first, outgoing Jamal McNutt seemed to be the wrong fit.
He was quiet for a reason. He didn't want to open up right away, but once he did, it was like, it was just like a little brother.
I didn't eat lunch today.
The more interest I show, the more he tells.
Jamal is one of 61 North Hennepin Community College students who volunteered to mentor at Northview through a unique program called 1-to-1.
1-to-1's best aspect is that they truly make the students feel wanted and that they are important. And additionally, it is very clear that the impact isn't just being made on the mentee, but also the mentor, as it often gives them a little sibling that they may not have had. Hopefully it's obvious by now how essential it is for all students, especially those at risk, to have a role model in their life. I propose a couple of strategies of how we can put a solid role model in their life because they desperately need it. First, I propose that students, primarily upperclassmen, seek to reach out to the leaders in our community that have mentored them at one point or could mentor another student within our school system. Those community leaders can get connected with the school system and eventually become connected with a student that desperately needs a role model. Additionally, upperclassmen can reach out and mentor younger students. An example of a possible mentoring opportunity is something as simple as reading to elementary school students. This solution to this issue will take time, it will take effort, and it will take your participation. We need all students, faculty, and community leaders to be on board so we can effectively end this issue in our school system. I quote Frederick Douglass when I say, "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." So let's take this quote to heart and go build strong children and youth in our community. Together, we can change this community for the better.